34 of the world's best basketball players show up at Team USA minicamp, and only 12 will make the 2016 Rio Olympics roster. Now, a lot of these guys, I shouldn't say a lot, 6 of these guys are almost deadlocks for those 12 roster spots. I'd find it very hard to believe why Coach K would ever say, you know what, LeBron, I don't think we need you here. You know what, Steph Curry, we don't need you here either. But we have a little graphic of the 34 players.
All right.
One by one. Ben, I'm going to ask you immediately as we go through each of these graphics who you can say is definitely not making the 12-man roster.
Not making. So
not
22
making.
Guys not making it.
22 not making it. Paul George has already been excused by Coach K. So
Okay.
33 we have left. Let's run the first USA basketball graphic. So you have LaMarcus Aldridge, Carmelo Anthony, Harrison Barnes.
Harrison Barnes.
Definitely no.
Harrison Barnes, definitely no. Bradley Beal, definitely no.
He looked good in the scrimmage.
Michael Carter, something.
Williams. When I made the graphic, there was some shortcuts we had to take so we could fit all these guys on a page.
Yeah, I would have gone with Carter Williams. But
Well,
Michael Carter.
Then I had to cut out the picture. What about DeMarcus? Just DeMarcus.
DeMarcus. So Michael Carter Williams, no. Mike Conley, no. DeMarcus Cousins, probably. Steph Curry, yes. Anthony Davis, yes. DeMar DeRozan, please. Andre Drummond, no.
Wait, DeMar DeRozan, please, as a sarcastic please?
That's right.
Okay, thank God. Yeah. Moving forward. Next graphic we have, there we go. KD.
Durant's on the team. Kenneth Faried's on the team.
No.
Rudy Gay, I guess could, but I doubt it. Paul George, we know
Was
now.
already excused, yes.
Same thing. Draymond Green's not making the team.
Why would you say Draymond Green's not making the team? Because I had a feeling you were going to say Draymond Green's not making
Again, because this isn't, I love Draymond Green, but you're talking about a team of 12.
of the best in the planet.
Yeah, but that said, depending on how they value defense and in what capacity, then I guess it's possible. But
here's my case for Draymond Green. For international play, he's so flexible. Even he can play in the small lineup. He can play the.
I know, but the thing of it, I hear you. But so can Kevin Durant and LeBron James. That's
fair point. It's really only Spain who's going to be scaring us in the Olympics. But moving forward.
But I guess you could make a case that a team that has Draymond Green instead of Blake Griffin, when it has this many other elite players, makes some more sense. So it's possible.
Draymond Green plays with more heart than anybody else in the NBA.
But I was reasoning that Blake Griffin is likely to make the team.
Yes.
James Harden obviously will. Tobias Harris, no. Gordon Hayward, no. Dwight Howard, likely, but not a definite. Could make the team as a big man. Obviously, the value of I think you'd be silly not to take Jordan or Howard to have. There's obviously value in having that kind of a rim protector.
Right,
on
absolutely,
the team.
defensively.
Kyrie Irving, amazingly might not.
Well, there's Chris Paul. We're going to get to the next one. It
just depends on whether Chris Paul plays and what they do at point guard. If again, I would say for international competition that you might be better off with, obviously I'm biased toward John Wall, but a player like Wall rather than Irving, a player very willing not to score but willing to distribute for this team. You don't need a point guard. Believe me, you don't need the point guard to score. So I like the idea of a distributor. So, Irving, who we saw this year, is capable of going 40 minutes and not getting an assist.
There's only one reason I agree with that, although I want to fight with you about it. The one reason I agree is Kyrie's health. John Wall stays healthier than Kyrie does.
I'm just presuming that these guys are all healthy.
All healthy. LeBron James, I don't know if he's going to make it this year, though. I think he should be on the team. Next graphic.
But here's the deal. I might take Mike Conley over Kyrie Irving, too.
Mike Conley's very underrated, amazing defensive point guard. That's the thing. It just depends on what type of play.
So I think Jordan, and we'll get this last week, Jordan or Howard has to make the team. Kawhi Leonard, it seems guaranteed to make the team. Love, a good bet to make the team. I was reading that Love and Aldridge and Howard would be competing for the final big man spot, but obviously Love is in the mix. Again, I don't think Oladipo is there, but depending on how things progress, like if he is seen as sort of a lockdown defender, then there's some value in that. Chris Paul, it's his spot apparently if he wants it. Mason Plumlee, no. Klay Thompson, they have him here as competing for the final wing spot with Rudy Gay, but in the international game with his shooting and his ability to defend different people,
should absolutely be
seems
there.
insane not to have Klay Thompson on the team. There's John Wall, who will be competing with Kyrie Irving, with Mike Conley for one of those point guard positions, but Wall probably won't. And Westbrook, obviously, probably the starting point guard.
So Pro Basketball Talk put out a great article in terms of who they think are the absolute definites for this team. I agree with these 6 players. LeBron James, Steph Curry, James Harden, Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook. Absolutely at no cost, barring injury, should anybody be replacing those guys, which means there's really only 6 spots. And then, of course, it doesn't come down to who are the 6 best because you're going to have that debate. And where I think it's going to get really interesting is Coach K coached Kyrie Irving, didn't coach John Wall or Chris Paul. So is there any form of maybe not bias, but this is one of his homegrown guys that played a year at Duke. But that it might have some effect on it.
Sure,
Coach K knows what he's doing. I mean, they are, 75-1 since Coach K has taken over.
Yeah.
They are the Globetrotters of Olympic basketball.
We hear the next most likely, and they're Kawhi Leonard, Blake Griffin, and DeMarcus Cousins, that you need size.
I think Kawhi Leonard should be a definite.
She should be.
He keeps getting better.
Getting better, and he's the most defensive of those 7 players, after Anthony Davis.
By the way,
I was saying you need a rim protector, and they sort of already had one, of course, in Davis.
Davis, but you need you can't have one big play 48 minutes a game. So, interestingly enough, and this seems like way too much fun. These guys, as you can see, when they go to these basketball camps, of course, it sounds like, for whatever reason, I always said camp. Like when I went to basketball camp, went to Hoop Heaven in New Jersey. Granted, I didn't have 34 of the world's best NBA players at my camp. They did have a nice clowning session on Russell Westbrook where LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony simply lost it.
So here's the deal. This is a video of a drill where you're supposed to throw it to the guy in the post, is Westbrook. He's supposed to take 2 dribbles and take the best shot he can.
When you're LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony, you're really 2 of maybe 10 people who can really start laughing at you at any given time.
I got to be honest, it didn't seem that funny.
But because the idea of contagious laughter.
No, I like it. The whole point of the drill is you take 2 dribbles, take a shot no matter what it is.
And
Westbrook's like, I'm not taking the shot. That speaks well of Westbrook, though, that sometimes he just won't take the shot.
Oh, being humbled by LeBron and Carmelo Anthony.
They're 75-1 since Coach K took over. Look, I love America, but I will be rooting against them. I have no interest in seeing this team win. None. Of course they'll win. Of course they'll win. So what would be far more interesting,
is
as
Spain
always,
winning?
Yeah, an underdog. I root for
Jose
underdogs.
Calderon.
When it's hockey, I want the United States to win because we're underdogs. When it's soccer, not really. But I'll root for us if we're an underdog. But I don't want us. We have the 12. These are the 12 best players in the frickin' world.
It's great.
Whoa,
it's
great.
domination.
We beat Angola 168-83. I'm so excited.
Hold on. If the Oakland A's were winning baseball games 45-0, every single day with a pitching staff who doesn't let up a run for 100 straight games, you would be sitting there going, you know what? I'm done with the A's. I'm going to start rooting for the San Francisco Giants.
You make a lot of mistakes. This was a pretty big one.
How is that possible? How is that even close to possible?
Because the A's, if they had that team, would have been constructed against every other team under the confines of the systems that Major League Baseball has set up. I would respect that they had been able to assemble that team while competing against 30 other teams.
Spain can assemble a
No, they can't. This is our game. This is our game.
They have Calderon. They have a good team.
You don't even mean it. You don't even mean it.
I do mean it. I think that Spain could possibly lose to the United States by 20 points.
So,
which, compared to the other teams,
I will be rooting for these guys to lose. I will be rooting for these guys to lose. I will be rooting for someone to make their lives and be like, we beat the Americans. We beat Durant and LeBron James, and we beat James Harden and Anthony Davis. We beat this amazing team. And I think that so here's what I would love to see, and here's where I'd root for America, right? Pretend the Warriors won next year. If the Warriors played. Like if we put our best team in that tournament, and I don't know whether we could win, but I think it'd be pretty impressive. And I would like to see the Warriors, whoever wins the title, the best NBA team, try to win it.
I feel like your argument is terrible. Just how I feel. Because the idea of not wanting to be the absolute best we can be, yes, it's our game. I'm aware of that.
We can win. We've proved it. We can win whatever we want. Whatever we really want, we can win.
And we continue to. Were you a Dream Team fan?
No. Not at all.
Okay, I was just curious.
Big, giant waste of time.
Big giant waste of time.
Great. Look at that. You know
So
what?
we-
Turned out Larry
so you
Bird,
would be
Magic
more-
Johnson, Michael Jordan, and Charles Barkley, they were better than the Netherlands.
you-
I wasn't sure, but they were.
Would you be more interested if we were not in the competition at all?
I'd like us to.
Oh, no, you can't. You can't. We're either in it in the best or in it and be what? Mediocre?
I'm sorry. I apologize for being a thoughtful person and not just answering your yes or no made-up question the way that you wanted to. I would rather us find a way to show that we're really the best. And the way to show we're really the best would be to send our best team, a real team, to international competition and see if we're still good enough to beat the best in the world. Maybe we're not. Maybe we aren't. And then we'd lose, and then the next year we'd have to do something else.
Okay, for whatever reason, I thought that when you originally said was put the Warriors up against the Team USA basketball team. I was misunderstanding you saying send just the Golden State Warriors.
Fellas, was I not clear?
Was he clear?
Was
Was that
that-
thumbs up?
yeah,
No.
yeah, it was pretty clear.
Here's the thing. I guess I didn't care enough to really listen to
I
it.
would like to see the Warriors play Argentina. I'd like to see the Warriors play Spain.
I think Spain and the Warriors would be neck and neck.
And that would be interesting. And then I would root for us. And I know what USA Basketball really wants is for me to be invested. It just feels like a way to sell jerseys and sell money, and we know we can win. We know we can win.
It's not that we could. It's like there's no excuse not to win.
That's not interesting. That's not sports. That's not competitive.
Well, there it is. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Agree with Father Time or agree with the youth.